Okay, I didn't think I would be back here making another video on Infinity Nikki, and I didn't want to either, if I'm honest. I think the community's gone through enough recently, but I wanted to make these videos that I've made recently just to put a megaphone to the situations going on with the game. I think it's fair that people who don't access the Reddit, don't access the Discord, aren't in the know in regards to social media posts and such, that there's issues going on with the game. And I hope they do get solved going forward, because I feel like the community's kind of been battered recently with a lot of issues, basically. And yeah, this is me just basically, you know, spreading awareness on this situation. The funny thing is as well, I haven't played Infinity Nikki yet. I've been planning to play it for a while, and I was actually going to play it this week. I was planning to do a little bit with my girlfriend, but I don't know now. I don't know. We're going to wait and see, though, because this one's a little bit different. I'm putting this out there because it might be an issue, but it also might be just, I guess, maybe some malicious posts from some individuals. We don't know just yet, but I guess we'll know over time. But this is a little PSA, I guess. If you do see this issue yourself, make sure you're like keeping up on the amount of diamonds you've got in the game. And if you see that you've got any extra, don't think, oh, you've just got lucky and you've got some extra. It's probably best to not be spending them at that point, because it might get you into some issues going forward. As you can see here, we've got this post. We've got another post here as well going into this. But prior to this, I just want to say, before we actually get into this could be a bug issue. This could also, when I was mentioning malicious activity, this could be people who have potentially maybe done some chargebacks, and now they're claiming that this has just happened to their account. So I just want to put that out there just in case. We don't know just yet. So this could be more nefarious actors in the space, just kind of maybe trying to make the game look worse at the moment, because it's been going through quite a lot recently, hasn't he? But I've saw posts from quite a few people in the Reddit, and you know, I think it's worth putting it out there so you guys know about this, just in case it happens to you, I guess, and it is an actual problem with the game, right? So let's have a look at this post here from oldbad7188 on the Infinity Nikki Reddit, and he says here, minus 5k, what? I'm still playing because this game is very dear to me, only for them to slap me across the face with this when I log in. I was mostly free to play with occasionally monthly gift. I have to comb the map like crazy to have enough to pull. Now all the hope I have for the game are gone. I might just quit after this. Sorry for my bad English. And then you can see them posting a picture here with them with 5,533 diamonds in the red. So they're minus 5,533 diamonds there. Quite a lot of diamonds, actually. Quite a lot of diamonds. So, again, this could be BS. You know, it's happened before. People do these weird things like this and try and make games look worse than what they are for whatever reason they might have. But again, there's some people replying to this saying that they're having issues as well. This person replying saying, I hope you've opened a bug report, and there's some filling a bug report right now. I do hope it's just a bug. I hope you get your diamonds back. And then we can have a look at this here. I've had 34 stars yesterday and spent 12 today. I started with -1. I thought they finished the star deduction several days ago. We mentioned this in a previous video, actually. Interesting to see that. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, but I've had diamonds deducted. There was no bug related to diamonds. Okay, obviously, yeah, they're replying to that, which is obviously a separate matter. The worst part about this bug is that most people who get diamonds/crystals wrongly deducted probably won't know unless they're in the negatives. This was also the last straw for me. That is true. With most gacha games, unless you're like super anal, you know, or things are bang on a certain number. If you're losing a few asteroids in something like Wuthering Waves, or a few polychromes in something like Zenithal Zero, or a few diamonds here and there in something like Infinity Nikki, you're probably not going to notice, right? But you're going to notice if you're minus 5k, that's for sure. So it is worth, some people are suggesting at the moment, maybe take screenshots of your game each day, just in case something happens. Sounds kind of crazy, shouldn't have to be doing it. But it might be worth giving it a go at the moment, just to like have something there. If you do have some issues, you can then send off those images to the support, because that's the best thing you're going to want to do, is if you do have issues, get in touch with support. I'm definitely concerned about this. I have over 200 pulls saved, but I have no idea how much exactly they could probably steal. 10, 20 pulls from me, and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say so much steal. I'm assuming this is either a chargeback issue, or if not, it's a bug, right? I'm sure Infold are not going around stealing your pulls. Well, I hope not anyway, because that's kind of crazy. That's actually kind of crazy. Pretty sure I bought I brought resonance crystals and was at 0 as a couple of days ago. Can't guarantee if I use them or not. It would have been about 12 to 14, so not too bad, but still absolutely bizarre. Yeah, I don't know that well, yeah, this person says, yeah, that's like 50, 20 euros. That's not, I wouldn't say that's too bad. Again, I don't know about these posts when someone's saying, I'm not too sure. It's like, unless you are, this is why I say, take some pictures, get some screenshots. Yeah, I think I got 20 deducted, but could just be me remembering how many I'd rung. I was luckily keeping an eye on my diamond counter because I estimated in my head how many pulls I have. And since I saw this happen to people, I also screenshot the amount of everything in case this happened, so at least have some proof. Good idea. Again, a good idea. They took 7 pulls from me. Somebody posted this here. Again, you've got to take these with a little bit of a grain of salt, guys. Pretty sure I lost 2k, but it's honestly so hard to tell when I still have 4k. But I'm pretty sure I had 6k yesterday. Again, this pretty sure. Again, it's not exactly evidence, but at the same time, as I say, when you've got a currency in a game, typically, you don't have the exact number in your head, do you? You just kind of know where you're at roundabout. So if there's a little bit here and there missing or a little bit extra, you're not going to really notice, are you? So I think screenshots are the way to go here, guys. Definitely get some screenshots for your currencies in-game. All of your currencies, probably, not just your diamonds. Again, somebody's posted a really informative post here. I'm going to link this in the description and the pinned comment on the video, guys, okay? So anybody who's interested, go check this out. It's probably a good idea to join the Reddit as well. I think it's probably, at the minute, I think it's probably a good idea to join the Reddit and the Discord with Infinity Nikki, if I'm honest, just to keep up on things with the game, because it's sad to say, there's a lot of problems, right? There's a lot of problems and they continue to happen, or at least it sounds like they're continuing to happen here. We've got to, got to be honest. We've got to be honest. We don't know. This could be, like I say, malicious activity. So this is on the subreddit again, PSA/info for extra or removed currency. What to do? Again, the mention of extra here, because some people, well, obviously we saw it with the other currency where people were getting it spawned twice a day, and I think that was due to time zone issues with the game, and they were getting deducted from people, weren't they? And then they were getting 6 back in the mail. So just in case you do end up with extra, it might happen, don't spend them. Just don't spend them. Just sit on them and wait and see, I guess, is the best answer there. And then follow up with it. Hiya. To get this out of the way, if you at any point bought in-game currency with money, intentionally purchased items /outfit /crystal, and then intentionally did a chargeback, you're on your own. That's fraud. This thread is not for you. That's fair enough, right? If you are doing that and then you're posting pictures to say, I'm in the red, like, come on, what did you expect, right? What did you expect that was going to happen? And again, this could be that happening to some people, and then other people are just running with it. Again, some people saying, well, I think this and I think that. This is why make sure you get screenshots, get some evidence, and then if it does change, you know for a fact you're not going crazy, right? Currently, some players seem to experience their stellarite /diamond /revelation /resonance crystals going to either surplus or minus. This creates the question, what do I do now? Of course, contact support, but some might be confused about what kind of information to provide. I will section this for free to play and people who make purchases. We're not going to go through the entirety of this here because there's a lot to go through, but we're just going to kind of like go over, I guess, some of the bullet points of this post, because I think it's worth you guys knowing about it, right? And as I say here, just as I said, if you're in surplus, don't use the extra items. When this has happened in any previous games before, it's not like companies are going to go, oh, that's cool, whatever, we'll let you have those for free. You're going to end up in the minus if you spend the extra what you've got along with what you have as well. So just sit on them. If you've noticed you've got more, if you want to spend your other currency, go ahead, but just make sure you've got a bit of a buffer and you don't spend what you've noticed is extra as well. So this is what I say, maybe take some screenshots just in case at the moment. Again, we don't know what's going on yet, but it's better to be safe than sound. I guess crazy that you're having to do this, if I'm honest, but with everything that's been going on at the minute, I think it's just better to be safe than sorry. This is so important. If you suddenly have 60 plus revelations or resonance crystals, suddenly extra diamonds or stellarites, don't use them. Most companies have policies for those kinds of situations. It always ends with this. If you use the items, you very likely will be expected to pay them back as they made a loss in revenue. They can do this in various ways, and knowing info, they most likely would do this. So if you're in a surplus, don't use the extra. Again, as I say, just don't do it. It's like if you see extra money in your bank, it might be really tempting to be like, oh, the bank have made a mistake. They'll figure it out in the end, and it'll be you that ends up paying for it in the end as well. So yeah, it's just a good thing to do as well. As I say, I'll leave a link to this post as well, guys. There's a link to the Infinity Nikki Info Games email here where you can send off any issues you have. This is the best way to do it as well, rather than just getting on Twitter or getting on Reddit and getting angry about it. If you've got proof, send it off to them, and surely, hopefully, that will sort it out as well. So this is the email for it as well. They just say, I highly recommend using your email, which is attached to your Infold account. Probably a good idea as well. I've contacted them 3 days ago about my abnormality via the in-game system and I haven't received a response. The example texts I've written are over 500, so they won't fit in the in-game system. If wanted, I can condense them. Just let me know. Leave paper trails so you can prove you tried to make them aware. Again, good point. Good point. And then we can go on here. They just give you, like, basically, you know, a bit of a template for email. So this is a really useful post, actually. So, like, shout out to the person who posted this. This is what we like to see in communities, right? The community coming together in an attempt to help each other. And I've got to say, you know, the Infinity Nikki community seems to be really rallying around each other to help each other out with the issues, which is really, really good to see. So we can see here, free-to-play players, no purchase at all. This is under the assumption you're entirely free to play. No Anthem monthly, nothing. Take screenshots of your current situation and save it in a folder. Do this each time you log off for now. I like screenshot the date and time too. Again, wild that we're at a point in a game where people are having to do this, right? Just that alone, that somebody's having to write a post like this. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? You know, it's kind of crazy. Again, I had a few comments in my last video of people kind of making out that people like me talking about this sort of stuff's drumming up negativity about the game. I disagree, honestly. I'm not talking about the game itself. Again, as somebody who hasn't played it, I'm going to be honest. I haven't played the game yet. I kind of want to check it out, you know? I do want to check it out. It looks like a chill little game. And everything I've heard about other stuff, the game's been like, you know, I've heard positive things, right? I haven't played the game, but I think it's fair, even if you haven't played a game, to start questioning the practices that the developers and the publishers are doing right. That's totally fine. You know, you don't have to have played a game to say, yeah, they're kind of running things in a little bit of a bad way over there. It's not me coming on and saying, yeah, this game sucks because it hasn't got this, it hasn't got that. I wouldn't do that because I haven't played the game, and I think that's just unfair and disingenuous, right? But I think it's totally fair to talk about these things, and there's, you know, we're starting to see more people in the actual Infinity Nikki community talking about it now. But for a while, there was a little bit of silence, right? And, you know, some people, I guess, have got to make some posts about this. For the people who aren't delving into Reddit, like me, and being losers in Discord servers as well. So, yeah, it's just saying basically, contact them via the support email provided, use your email connected to your account, make it clear you haven't done any purchasing in the game at all, offer a resolution. Offer doesn't mean that try to trade with them, but telling them what you would like to see as a resolution can help. Yeah, good point. Be clear and friendly, of course, always respectful. If you've been shafted by a service provider, the last thing you really want to do is start flipping out, because it's just going to, even if they're obliged to help you in the end, right, which most companies are, but we know what happens with companies. Even if they're obliged to help you, if you're disrespectful, if you're rude, potentially make things just really hard on your end. You just want to get it sorted as much as possible, right? Call them all the names you want in private, but be polite, be respectful on your communications. The person you're probably speaking to at the other end, you know, they're not going to be involved in all of these issues anyway. So, you know what it's like. If you've worked in the service industry, you know it's like when you get angry customers. At the end of the day, you're like, man, I just clocked in, you know? So we've got another example here for an email. Players who have spending money, again, firstly, check your account. So potentially your payment method, if it's not a gift card situation, may have been flagged as suspicious and was held back or marked as fraudulent and reimbursed by your bank/PayPal. That's another good point, actually. There might be people out there who are doing malicious chargebacks because they just want to stick it to the company and think they can get away with getting some extra items and then bailing. And then obviously this could happen as well, where people may have had issues with the card. You know, it happens all the time. You might purchase something online, and then when you go to do a repeat purchase, your bank's like, wait a minute, what the hell? And they just do it on their own accord, and that might cause issues for you on your account as well. So yeah, reach out to your provider, make sure you did the purchase intentionally, and it might go through. Hopefully this will fix it for you. And then note down when you purchase the currency from. And then obviously we've got Infold allows you to purchase currencies for the game via their own website or via the game. Make it clear which you used. I've purchased currency from your website, from the in-game system, by using a certain payment method. And then you guys just going through whichever payment method you used. It'll leave a trail. If you use gift cards, all that sort of stuff. If you use credit card and you don't receive an email, you know, basically just, you know, the paper trail that's left from your purchases, basically. That's what you want to go through, depending on whatever you've used to purchase the items in-game. And then obviously clarify when you made the purchases with dates, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, wild that we're having to have template letters now on how to potentially prove you've spent money in a video game or that you're not trying to scam the game. It's absolutely crazy that we're at this point. Again, as I say, this could all be down to just some nefarious posts on Reddit. Again, I don't think this person's posting as if they've had this happen. They're just giving a template for people. Well, I'm assuming anyway. So yeah, it's still crazy though. It is still crazy. And then obviously we've got players who have and are spending money. If you bought items, currency in the past or recently, here's what you can do and how you should provide. I apologize for the length. I'm trying to cover as much as I can. No worries about that. Like, this is awesome. There's people like this in the community. Firstly, check your accounts. There is a potential payment method. If it is not a gift card situation, may have been flagged as suspicious. We've just noted that. Note down where you purchased currency from. Again, we're just kind of going over what was in the other one. Basically, get the paper trail for when you've purchased things or when you are purchasing things or are purchasing things right now. Make sure you've not got any reimbursed payments because potential nefarious activity. Check that there's been no nefarious activity on your card as well. You just don't know, you know what I mean? And then obviously attach screenshots, of course. And then examples for the players making purchases. And then they've just ended it off with, that's it from me. For you, this is Lungo. Apologise. I'll try my luck editing this. I'm aware folks might be lying and have done chargebacks and act maliciously. As I said, I can see some people who outright believing something like this is not possible. Again, I've seen it myself, and it's not just in gacha games. This has happened in games. So, you know, this idea that, oh, when things go bad in games and people speak out about it, it's just people drumming up drama. Kind of hate that attitude, if I'm honest. There's plenty of drama in this space over dumb stuff like this kind of things. If they're happening, right, if they are happening, again, we can't be sure just yet. If they are happening, these have to be spoken about, guys. And it doesn't matter if it's spoken about by your community figureheads or just by other people who are just trying to put a bit of a megaphone to the situation. I think it's good to do so. And shout out to the people posting these things in the Reddit. I've seen it in the Discord as well. And shout out to people making these sorts of posts, actually offering up solutions to people also. You know, and then they just go through, you know, issues with other games. Some old games that they played that are dead now, and other mobile games where it happened and they resolved it after reports. So it could be people who did chargebacks, but it also could be people who didn't do any of that. I found myself with a surplus of a few stellarites and diamonds, and I know I didn't purchase them beyond what I had paid on May 5th of May. Okay, then, so this person here is actually suffering from the issue as well, but they've just got extra. So it's showing there's something going on, right? There's something going on. Now, what that is that a bug? They're just being kind. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's a good idea not to spend those, because typically if that happens in a game, you spend them, you're going to end up paying back for them, you know, because you're going to be in the minus, and you don't want to be in a position like that in any of these games, right? That's the worst thing that could happen for you. Okay, let's have a look at this here. I would be curious to know if this is mainly happening to people that have made purchases since 1.5 dropped. I haven't bought anything since right before the patch, and so far haven't been affected. Now, that's not saying it won't happen, because anything can happen at this point, and I'm still taking occasional screenshot just in case. Genuinely just curiosity, since these bugs are wild, and trying to see if there's any correlation at this point. I also keep getting paranoid about my stars, even though I didn't make an effort to collect them until a couple of days ago. Again, this is really sad. This is where, like, Infold have really put themselves in a position now with, like, some bad decision making in regards to, like, the pity, the outfit powers, and then just a bunch of mistakes since 1.5's dropped. That people are now, like, getting paranoid that they've got more crystals than they should, and diamonds than they should, paranoid that they've got less, that they've, like, people actually saying they've stole pulls from me, which is kind of wild, but, you know, again, it's crazy that people are actually uttering these things. People are at the point where they're taking screenshots of the game to make sure they're not missing out on currency. You shouldn't have to do that, you know, like, that is just insane to me. I've never done that in any gacha game. You know, maybe I've been robbed, I don't know, but I'm just saying, I've never felt like, oh, I've got to make sure I'm screenshotting as I log off, and being aware that, oh, hopefully I don't come back and I've got less, or if I've got more, I better not spend it. It's just crazy, absolutely wild to me. And then we can see here this person's replying saying, for me, my purchases were after 1.5 on the 5th of May, when I got my stuff almost to zero, except for, I'm sure they're saying dailies there, yeah, Diaz. I had 660 left. And, oh, is that another form of crystal, is it? Diaz, I'm not too sure. Again, haven't played the game, so don't shoot the messenger. And the farm chest like crazy. It then went ahead and gave me 299 stellarites somehow back on the 7th. and 150 extra dias too. It's not much compared to others that have a surplus, but still, which I immediately reported via the in-game provided support system, but it's not very responsive, so I wrote them a mail too. I recommended screenshotting everything when you end Infinity Nikki for the day, so you can always check it. It sucks, but our only options right now. Yeah, they're right, to be fair. It's crazy, that is. That's crazy. So yeah, my issue is that I have like 40k diamonds or 101 crystals from saving, or not, notice a small amount. Again, agree. I don't think they have actual humans reading or responding. Made the same purchase as usual, monthly card battle pass and some crystal packs, and nothing happened to my currency. I have not made any purchase since 1.5 either. My diamonds and crystals seem to be correct. I also want to add that getting free currency due to a glitch is not unique to info. That's true. That's true. I don't pay attention to my diamonds. Can't tell if they're up or down. Boosting this, nice. Thank you for making this post. I edited my post advising people to take screenshots to come in if you're already affected. So yeah, okay. So there seems to be some people thinking, I think this might have happened to me. Either way, I might have more or less, but they can't be sure because obviously, unless it's massive amounts, you're not going to notice, right? Unless you're in this position, you know, unless you're minus 5k. If you were at 5,533 yesterday, you wouldn't notice if today you got on and you were at 5,523, right? Or 13. Unless you've got a really good memory and you're making sure you're paying attention as you log off. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't. I'd notice if it was a few hundred less maybe. Or maybe even not, you know. Maybe even not. Especially if you had a heavy day of farming or something like that. You probably wouldn't even pay that much attention, to be fair. But obviously, you're going to notice that. So, these little incremental numbers here and there could be a lot of people in this position maybe who don't even know. Again, I want to reiterate, this could all be just malicious posters, but this person doesn't seem like a malicious poster, and they've noticed they've got more, right? It's not 5,000 in the red, but still they've noticed an issue with their account, and this seems like hey, maybe I'm naive. This seems like a really good post from somebody who isn't trying to shit on the games, just offering up help for other people who might have had issues. So, yeah, I tend to believe that person. Again, some of these where people are like, oh, I don't know if I feel like I've got less. Okay, we don't know, do we really? So, yeah, I take a picture of my phone every day now in fear. This is insanity. What is happening? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, this is just insane again, guys. This is just insane. So yeah, I thought I'd post this. I know, again, as I say, there's a few people not happy with me making content on the game the last few days, saying that they don't want to see men who don't play the game talking about the game, you know, because it's not your place, I guess. But at the end of the day, if there's negative stuff going in the gacha space and it's affecting the players, I'm willing to talk about it, because I think these are the things, as a community, we can come together, whether you play a game or not, we can join together and fix things for the player base, right? Rather than being at each other's throat over dumb stuff, whether my game's better than yours or your game's made more money than mine. I think this is important to get solved. If it's really a problem that's happening, let's hope it gets fixed. And if it's not, then hey, I guess we're just we're putting a megaphone to some trashy people in the community, and hopefully they get found out. And I suppose if they are doing malicious chargebacks, I think the best thing for Infold to do is probably just ban them, if I'm honest, and then notify why they've been banned, and they couldn't hide behind that then. But yeah, interesting to see what happens here, guys. I'll follow up if there's any news worth following up from this. But again, I didn't really want to make another video talking about this, but I thought it was worth just mentioning it, guys, because this is crazy and it's not good for the game. So it's a shame to see. So yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed the video and found it informative, give it a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll leave a link, as I say, to this particular post here, and you guys can read through it yourself if you're in this situation. And I think it's a good post for you to check out as well, guys. All right, so I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao.